The ancient pyramids are man-made structures that were built over 4,500 years ago. Despite their age, they still stand strong and are a testament to the ingenuity of the ancient builders. But how exactly were these massive structures built? Well, one controversial theory suggests that the pyramids were actually built by giants. And surprisingly, there is evidence to support this claim, or so I'll let you be the judge of that. In today's video, we will delve into the evidence that suggests that the pyramids were built by giants. So stay tuned and let's get started. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button for more videos. First, let's talk about the dimensions of the pyramids. The largest pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza, is an astonishing 481 feet tall and has a square base of 756 feet. It is believed that the pyramid was built as a tomb for the fourth Egyptian pharaoh, Khufu, but considering its size, it is hard to imagine how the ancient Egyptians were able to move and lift these massive stones without any modern equipment. And even harder to imagine is how they managed to achieve such precision. Each stone is estimated to weigh between 5 and 10 tons, and there are believed to be over 2 million of them in the Great Pyramid alone. To put that into perspective, the average weight of an adult male elephant is around 6 tons, so these stones are incredibly heavy. According to archaeologists, the construction of the Great Pyramid would have required a workforce of around 4,000 workers, and it would have taken around 20 years to complete. However, recent studies suggest that the pyramid may have been built much more quickly, perhaps in as little as 27 years. Even so, it is hard to imagine how such a small workforce could have built such a massive structure without the help of giants. But that's not all. There is other evidence to suggest that the pyramids were built by giants. For example, according to Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, the first king of Athens was a giant named Erectois, and many historians agree that he was one of the builders of the pyramids. In fact, there are several references to giants in Egyptian mythology. For example, the goddess Nut, who is depicted as a woman arched over the earth, represents the vault of the heavens. And her husband, Geb, is the earth. Their children, including the gods Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephthys, represent the constellations that lie between the Milky Way and the horizon. According to Egyptian mythology, the gods had a son named Anubis, who was the god of the dead, and he is often depicted with the head of a jackal or a dog. Interestingly, the constellation Canis Major, which lies between the Milky Way and the horizon, contains the bright stars Procyon and Castor, and both of these stars can be seen from the Giza Plateau where the pyramids are located. Could this have been a coincidence? Perhaps. But it is also possible that the ancient Egyptians knew about the constellations and used them as a guide when building the pyramids. Another piece of evidence that the pyramids were built by giants comes from the Bible. In the book of Genesis, it tells the story of the Tower of Babel. According to the story, the people of the world were all speaking the same language, and they decided to build a tower so tall that it would reach the heavens. God was not happy with this, and he confused their languages so that they could not understand each other. As a result, the tower was never finished. Some scholars believe that the story of the Tower of Babel is an allegory for the building of the pyramids. In this view, the confusion of languages represents the separation of the Egyptians from the rest of humanity, and the unfinished tower represents the pyramids. But why would the Egyptians have tried to build a tower that reaches the heavens? One possibility is that they wanted to reach the gods or to communicate with them. Another possibility is that they wanted to build a monument that would last forever. If you think about it, a lot of ancient structures like Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and the Colosseum are still standing today, thousands of years later. Why should the pyramids be any different? It seems that the ancient Egyptians were truly a visionary people who wanted to create something that would stand the test of time. They may not have achieved their goal, but their efforts are still visible today and continue to amaze us. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button for more videos.